Well, I am back and I will try and be back more than I have been for the last 3 months. I've had a lot of personal issues, blah blah blah, but you don't need to know that. Anyways, grid start. What should you do? You should always put your brake down and your accelerator down to the floor. As soon as the light turns green, let go of your brake pedal and let the accelerator take over. Why should you do this? Well, the brake pedal cancels out the throttle, so if both are down, there's no burn in the clutch. And also, as soon as the light turns green, it is much quicker to decompress a pedal than it is to compress a pedal. That's just how it works. So yeah, if you're sucking at grid starts, just remember that is quite a handy tip if you don't do that already. It will make you faster off the mark, and sometimes, especially if you're in the top 5, that can easily get you into the top 3 by turn 3. So yeah, it's all about reaction time, especially for the lightweights. You don't want a rubbish start as a lightweight because everyone else will just leave you for dust. But I just wanted to use this video to talk about how the temperatures affect this track in particular. Now, they probably also impact other tracks. I haven't raced many other tracks, so I'm not sure if it's the same as Warrington. I have raced a few tracks, don't get me wrong, but I never really know how it's different because I've not raced the tracks throughout the year. I've probably got 2,000 plus hours of racing this track alone, which yeah, that is quite a lot. So I would say I'm quite knowledgeable when it comes to the different seasons at this track and how the 3 different flooring materials, tarmac, concrete and wood, are affected. So the main thing with temperature is the wooden section. I made a video probably around 3 months ago or so when I spoke about how in the peak of the summer months I was losing about 0.7, 0.8 seconds in just the wooden section alone. Now the wooden section is 14 seconds long, so the fact that in summer you're losing a second somewhere just on the wood, it's quite interesting when you think about it. Do you know what I mean? So the hotter it is, it's better to be really aggressive in the wood. So you get to the top of the hairpin and just sling it. Tonight it was 15 degrees, which is actually relatively quite hot. So you're going to see that, turns just like that, I'm actually gripping really well, but I'm also taking a really sharp flick of the wrist left turn. And I knew with the temperature that if I did that, I wouldn't lose any time at all. If anything, I would gain time and get myself into overtaking and undertaking opportunities, which I did do. The tarmac section, and shout out to the guy who just tried to dive the apex and ended up in turn 2. Yeah, but when it comes to the tarmac section, the colder it gets, the slidier it gets, of course. Tarmac's all about heat. If there's no heat on the tarmac, then you just lose grip everywhere. But throughout the entire year, I'm a strong believer with in slow, out fast, and I don't care what time of year it is, the tarmac section barely changes for me. The only thing that becomes noticeably different is turn 1 there. In winter, you can hard slam the brakes, throw your back end out a little bit, and for some reason it tends to just grip straight away and you can get a nice clean exit, and I believe that's where a little bit of time is made up. Also, here is a diagram of what you should do to defend into turn 4. If you always come over to the tyre wall on the right first, then go left and right, it just blocks off anyone who's trying to undertake. I guarantee most people watching this video have been undertaken here. Why does that happen? It's because you immediately end up going left, and then the person behind you just gets that close to your rear end. They can just stay right, you go left, you've got more track to now cover, they've got less track, and they end up just, getting a really clean undertake. And then if you do it my way by going right first and then left, it obviously stops people from undertaking. But even if someone was to manage to like undertake you there, they're going to end up just not being able to turn well. So you're probably just going to get the immediate switch back anyway. But that's just a top tip there for anyone who's going to have to defend against a faster driver. Now, the faster drivers are obviously going to be the lighter weights of the weight category. Now, in BIKC, you've only got lightweights, middleweights, and heavyweights. In kart champs, you had featherweights, lightweights, middleweights, heavyweights, and super heavyweights. So if we go to the very bottom of the spectrum now, lightweights this year are probably starting mid 40 kilo, high 40 kilos, and then the heavier lightweights are, I think they're weighing in at 74 kilo. I spoke to one person, I think he said he was 74 kilo. But you can imagine how a near 30 gram deficit, a 30 kilogram deficit is just going to be so hard to defend against when someone's going to be like just right there behind you all the time. So there's going to be a lot of the race at BIKC where defending is everything, and the only way you can do that efficiently is just making sure that every tyre wall, either the inner tyre wall or outer tyre wall, is well defended. And just as I said that, I saw Brandon's front end coming next to me, so I just gave him the space. I'm not having to do anything in this race, this is just a little bit of fun that me and Brandon was having, so please don't watch this video and expect to learn anything from it. Obviously I've highlighted the way I come right here to left, but you see there how he went left straight away, I went right, I just got the nice natural line. He then gets it back here because I'm all over the show trying to correct myself, but it always comes back into your favour if you end up on the inside of this tyre wall. And just because me and Brandon's been a bit respectful of each other as we have all race, we don't really care, and this is no need for us to just fight when we're literally just having so much fun. But yeah, the concrete bit is a bit of a strange one. The concrete section is just like power slide city, what I call it. Obviously the colder it gets, the more you slide, the hotter it gets, the more you grip. So turning into turn 4, it is much better to lift longer the colder it is. Yeah, you want to be really close to the right side of the turn 4 tyre wall, just so you can get a good exit and entry into turn 4. If you do that, you can then stay left and then turn really narrow into turn 5. You can then get the middle of the track, and you've got absolutely no worries about anyone being able to undercut you or just sweep past you smoothly, or respectively. So yeah, it's pretty much all I've got to say. This is literally the end of the race there. Marshall just waved the checkered flag, but I just wanted to make this video discussing how the temperature affects. Oh, also, the cooler it is, these indoor biz karts, they prefer the colder weather. It's just the engine. It's an indoor kart. It's made for indoor karting. It's at low speeds. It's 40 mph max. The hotter it is, the more that engine's got to work, the more it spits its dummy out, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. But anyways, I'm hoping that was a bit of an informative video. If you need to know anything, please just ask me any questions down in the comments, and I will answer them all on the next video, or I'll make a separate Q&A video just for any BIKC competitors who need to who need some quick answers for things. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll see you all in the next video.